I'm here with our sweet little student Keira here today. Take your hand and wave right there, Keira. Say hey. So today we're working on a little lesson, kind of a repeat of something I did the other day, where we're going to be applying a watercolor underpainting underneath a pastel painting. So this is sanded pastel paper. We've got a couple of little reference photos we're looking at here. This is one. I can put them up on the screen when I edit this. This is one, and the other one is here. I wanted to do something kind of simple just so we can work on our lesson today with the underpainting and the values. And these two photos, just so you know, Keira, are from paintmyphoto-art.com. It's a great website where you can get reference photos where people put their own photos up with permission to use them as reference photos. So you don't have to worry about copyright issues or anything like that. So I thought these were two kind of simple reference photos to work from, and they have a great composition idea already. We've got kind of a rule of thirds going, got a couple little S-shaped curves. Not that they always have to have that, but it's got a nice composition. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, and as always, there's nothing wrong with looking at other art to inspire you. So I had some paintings back here. I thought we'd look at kind of the mood that is in these paintings. And I think that, yeah, here we go. This one right here, see how simple and loose and basic that is? We're going to work with kind of that impressionistic loose style where things don't have to be fussy and so-so. Or just so. And here's another one that I just love. Notice you don't see all the individual leaves of the tree. See a little bit of that mountain peeking through back there. So kind of let this inspire you. This is another good one. So anyway, these are just some ideas to get that feel and that looseness, okay? So we're going to go back to our reference photo and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the underpainting. Okay, so we've decided on one of the reference photos. And Keira and I both kind of agreed that one looks really nice. We like that background field. But what we're going to try to do is, because in a composition it is not good to have something blocking your eye from going across. And we felt like that row of trees was a little much there. So we're going to thin out some of these trees over here so the eye can flow. We're going to curve the field around, the little road almost trail around a little bit more. But first what we're going to do is sketch it in just a little bit. You know, sometimes when I work, I'll sketch things in and sometimes I won't, but just for the purpose of teaching today, we will. We've got a little pastel here. Let me grab the box. These are just a harder brand of pastel. Okay, they're good for putting underneath other pastel work. You always want to work hard pastels to the very soft. The very soft ones fill up a lot of the tooth on the paper, and you can't get a lot of layers once you put the really soft ones down. So that's why we're working this. So we just have a little kind of a neutral color here, and we're both going to sketch in just this general landscape before we put in the watercolor, okay? We don't want to get too hard or anything, but we're just getting some ideas. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our horizon line, and notice I'm doing a really light touch here, Keira, okay? So we're just kind of getting in an idea of where the horizon line is going to go. And I've got mine kind of angled down a little bit, kind of like that. Yeah, actually, instead of doing it halfway, we never want to halfway. I would do it, yeah, very good. You got it.
Is it on a tilt?
Yeah, it's not really in the photo, but I think that might be more interesting to have it more like a hill. Yes, good. Good, maybe a little more like this, okay. And now, all we have is a big, kind of these trees are just almost like in little block shape, little blobs, okay. And then we've got some here that have little branches. This does not need to be specific because we're gonna just cover it up with watercolor, okay. And we can always make more detail when we add the pastel. And then back behind the trees, after you get maybe a little bit more of a shape here, and then perhaps a little bit of these branches down in there. That's probably good right there. Now we've got another field in the background here with it's almost like this hill rolls over and then you see this field back here. So kind of like midway between those trees, we're going to make this other field back here, and it's just kind of it may change as we work on it. Good. And then we've got, because they're far away, things get smaller when they're far away, we've got some distant trees that are just kind of like back here. We don't want to keep them too the same. It's going to be more of like just a shape of trees. There you go. That's good. That looks pretty good.
Thank you.
A lot of times we do these and Keira's ends up looking better than mine. I like her loose style.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and now we've got this road or a trail in the photo. And all it is, it already has kind of a nice S-shaped curve, but I'm actually going to enhance that a little bit. We're just going to kind of come up like this. And roads tend to go in and then sideways. Let's see, how did I do that? Yeah, and then maybe back around these trees. So something kind of like this, and it'll change shape as we do it. But yeah, nice. But we're getting a general idea now of our landscape, and then we're going to put in We're going to put in the watercolor background. So we're going to stop it right here, and then we'll speed it up and show our watercolor underpainting. Okay, we've mixed up some colors here just so we don't have to think as we go. We're going to do the sky, a little bit of this lavender, and we're going to work really loosely and wet. Okay, so we've got the sky is a little bit of a lavendery color. The distant trees are going to be this cooler, things in the distance are cooler. It's going to be this cooler blue. The distant field, a little bit of this yellowy wheat color. Then the closer trees are going to be darker. Of course, we're putting pastels on top of this, so we're going to be adding darker values to things. And then the field in the foreground is going to be this dirt color right here. So we're going to get going. Got down some big bold blocks of color for an underpainting. We've got our general composition. We've got some colors going on here, and you know, even some of this drippage, it doesn't even matter. It's an underpainting. A lot of this is just going to get covered up, so it's not a big deal. And watercolor always dries a little bit lighter, so that's why sometimes with an underpainting I'll put it on what looks to be kind of dark, and then it will gradually lighten up. And another thing I mentioned too is sometimes it's good to put down a color that's not the main color. For example, the field that we're working from the reference photo, the forefield is primarily green grasses and yellow flowers. And so we put down a dirt color. If we just put down a whole big field of green and then we put green pastels on top of it, we wouldn't have any contrast going on there. These colors, I put in a little of this blue. So even though these trees, they're pretty dark, I'm probably going to add some more darks that really got to darken these up. And then this field in the background, I'm going to pale this out maybe with a little bit of more of a peachy, pinky color back there. So we got a base now to work with, and it really gives you some direction of what you're going to do. So we're going to work with some pastels now and have some fun. Okay, so now we've picked out some pastel colors, and we've picked out some colors that are, I think they're called tertiary on the color wheel. They're more like a triangle, okay? So we're working with the orangey, yellowy oranges, this magenta purple, and then these teals on this side. So these colors that are across from each other like a triangle on the color wheel, okay? So that's our general color palette to kind of keep us straight. And now we're going to start working on getting the values down correctly in these colors, okay? So we're going to put it on speed demo again and do a little work and then talk.